모습이 글로벌, 세계에서 세계시장 전략이라는 주제를 가지고 레귤레이터의 랜딩 디렉터이신 패트릭경의 대표가 준비되어 있습니다. 패트릭경 대표님은 SK텔레콤 대표, 또 윌슨 교수님 김진, 로사스의 법원사를 역임한 바 있습니다. 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 참고로 주주단체에서 어법으로 드리겠습니다. 가지고 계신 풍경기를 사용하시면 되는데요. 1번은 한국어, 2번은 영어로 되어 있습니다. 1번으로 해서 한국어로 보시면 되겠습니다. 다시 한번 큰 박수로 패트릭경 대표님을 모시겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's very nice to see you. It's very nice to see all the energy in the room of all the startups. Story, my path, and it will give you some sense of what I'm talking about. I started off my career as a lawyer. I worked at a place called Wilson Sonsini. It was the largest law firm handling technology startups. They did about 50% of all venture capital financing in the United States, which is quite a bit. Very soon thereafter, within about 3 years, I represented a company called Dialpad Communications. How many of you remember Dialpad? Nobody. Some of you. Okay. So back in the 1990s, there was a very similar energy in Korea, where the Korean government was really pushing hard for startups. And Dialpad was one of the startups that came from Korea. It was a voice over IP company, similar to Skype. Everyone heard Skype? Yes? No? Okay. Skype is free calls over the PC. And Dialpad raised $66 million. And I was employee number 10. I thought I was rich. So happy. Early and making a lot of money since we were great. But like any company, it's not just having technology and having money. You actually have to execute and build a business. We failed to do that, unfortunately. So we ended up going bankrupt. I ended up coming to Kim and Chang, worked here as a lawyer, and was really happy here. Except I felt the draw to go back to Silicon Valley and go back to my roots. And so there, SK Telecom recruited me to be the first managing director of the venture fund. And between 2008 and 2012, I was fortunate to run the fund with another partner. And we looked at 3,000 companies. And part of why I'm here today is to help you understand what I saw. And if you can see what I saw, maybe you might have some success if you're trying to raise money in Silicon Valley. And just one quick thing, I've got to give a plug about what I'm doing now. I'm working with a former board member of Gucci, and we created a fashion fund that does fashion and fashion technology investment. So I left SK Telecom last year, and I'm now running Maxwell Capital. So let me give you a viewpoint of what lawyers are like in the U.S. We're bad people. In Korea, lawyers are very well respected. They're respecting a lot, and I respect them too. But in the U.S., it's a different story. You look like this. So the lawyer for Wilson Sonsini, the biggest law firm in Silicon Valley, I was a pretty bad guy. But I was also a venture capitalist. Again, in Korea, very well respected, nice guys, very smart. But in the U.S., we're bad guys. So I'm trying not to be a bad guy today. I'm going to try to be this guy. I'm going to try to guide you. I'm going to be like Obi-Wan Kenobi and let you see some of the truth as I see it. So I'm not going to wear my venture capitalist hat. I'm not going to wear my VC hat. I'm going to try to be your teacher today. So I want to make sure that we're all talking about the same thing, because maybe I'm not sure what your expectations are about what I'm about to say today. So let me set out some of the goals here. So I'm assuming you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to build a company. What does that mean? It means you probably need to raise some money, and you probably want to meet some great partners. And with the money and great partnerships, you want to hopefully find some great employees, build a big company, and eventually exit. Right? Everyone needs to make money. We're not doing this for charity, I don't think. At least in the U.S. And that's one of the things you need to understand. In the U.S., if you raise money from a venture capitalist, your duty is to return money. Your duty is to try very hard to make money, and that means selling your company or going public. talk about how to raise money. That's part of the magic. And what a lot of people don't talk about, but again, this is the truth I'm trying to give to you. It's about simple supply and demand. There's supply of money held by venture capitalists, and there's demand from the companies themselves. You've all seen this script before, nothing new, right? So what are we talking about in supply? Last year alone, venture capitalists raised $18.4 billion. Okay, that's in 1 year. You think you would have to actually spend the money, right? So over the last year, venture capitalists in the United States and the entire country did about 3,300 venture capital deals. Okay? But of those, they did about 125 a month were for seed or Series A. So again, I'm assuming the audience here, you guys are early stage companies, so you need seed or Series A capital. So why Silicon Valley? There's money flowing all over the United States, right? Actually, at the entire U.S., there's a little 40-mile circle around Stanford that does about 43% of all venture capital deals. And raised more than half the money. But when it comes to seed and Series A deals, it was about 30 a month. My point is, if you were going to come to Silicon Valley and you want to raise money, you need to be one of the 30 in that month to get funding. And there are about 400 venture capital firms in Silicon Valley. So do that. About 30 deals for 400 funds. So let's talk about what are some of the basics of raising money. You've got to make it easy for investors. Investors are lazy. We don't like to travel. We don't like to go far. We want you to come to us. And why do we want you to come to us? Because your competitors come to us. If you don't get on a plane and come to my office, I guarantee you, someone from Israel, someone from Taiwan, someone from Singapore, they are visiting me. And by the way, there's a great supply of entrepreneurs coming at Stanford and Berkeley and all these places, and they are also coming to me. So you can't assume that venture capitalists are going to come to Korea to find you, although there are a few that will. But I think the key thing to understand is that when you get funding from a venture capitalist, it's not about the idea. Okay? You're actually competing with other companies to get my attention. So what I mean is this. You take company A, and this guy's got a great idea. It's like, okay, you got a great idea. But this girl over here, she says, well, I've got this great idea, but I also have 1 million users, and I didn't raise any money. If you were in my team, I'm pretty sure you're going to pick the girl over the guy. Because you want your money to go far, and you want to reduce the risk of your money, so you're going to pick the girl. So again, the competition is between the companies. I get to watch, because I'm lazy. I sit in a chair and watch you guys pitch me. So, if you want to pitch a venture capitalist, and you've heard this over and over again, so I'm not going to belabor it too much. But it's about 3 T's, right? You need to show you have a world-class team. I need to know that you guys are the best and going to achieve what you say. You need talent. And when I say U.S. talent, what I'm talking about is I want to see people you've recruited in the U.S. to help you. Because if you can recruit great world-class talent that I respect, that means you're doing something right. In a way that helps me, again, remember I'm lazy, I don't want to think too much. I just want to see who you're hiring, and that gives me validation that you're a great company. And of course, traction. Traction meaning, are you making money? Do you have a lot of users? Or what? Did you make a lot of technological breakthroughs? So before you come raising money in the U.S., ask yourself this question. And let me tell you, I stole this question from Y Combinator. Do you guys know Y Combinator? Anybody? Y Combinator is one of the most famous incubators in Silicon Valley. They interview all of their entrepreneurs, and they ask them this question: what does your company look like at $1 billion valuation. Now, it sounds like a big question, but it actually isn't that big. Have you guys heard of Evernote? Anyone? Evernote? Okay. For those of you who don't know Evernote, it's a note and remembering application for mobile. So it's remember everything, that's the tag. But did you know Evernote only has 250 employees? It's not a big company. They're a $1 billion valuation company. Sequoia Capital, the #1 venture capital fund in the world, invested in Evernote at a $1 billion valuation. In terms of traction, when they got their they were up 26, maybe 27 million users for a while. Of course, I think they were profitable when Sequoia invested in, but still, $1 billion is not as big as you think. It's really about supply and demand. So, what kind of company should you build? Because it's $1 billion, 250 employees. What are we talking about? Well, this right here, this is the universe. What I think our state is here in the red area. That's what we are. That's where Earth is. And where I like to be is what the circle is. I want you to be on the outer edge of the universe. And what I mean by that is not something crazy technologically. I'm saying think differently. A little bit like Steve Jobs, but you can think about Samuel Calcutta. They were great about thinking out of the box about what would it look like to have free SMS internationally. And they were like crazy. That is the kind of different thinking that creates traction and creates excitement to invest. And so I think it's important to understand that we need to see, as a VC, we need to see some vision. That's what we're talking about, vision. Where do you see the world going? How will the world bend to your will? So, over the last 16 years of working in venture capital, the world started off like this. You guys all know who these folks are, right? Beethoven, Chopin, Mozart. Where you have a single composer who knows the world and they just write the whole opera themselves. They know from start to finish what their opus will be. But that's not what Silicon Valley is anymore. It's really this. These are really, you need to be like the best jazz musicians. The VCs want to do this. Why? Well, these folks, like Coltrane and Thelonious Monk, these folks are great improvisers. They're able to read what's happening in the market, able to change what they play, how they, even what they play. There's a lot of teamwork. They're playing with their basically co-founders and their staff to make great music. And VCs want to see this. They want to see that you have a great team. This is what teamwork is. So think about the awesome startup from a VC perspective. When I see that, when I want to found a company, I look for this. I look for a great leader that's Thelonious Monk playing piano there, and world-class musicians playing with him. And if I see this, I get really excited. Like, wow, this is someone that I want to be with. This kind of team that I want to back. And by the way, I'm the guy in the back in the suit, not playing any music, any instruments. I'm in the suit, just kind of watching, and I'm happy because I'm hearing things. So, what I want you to take away from this is that raising money in the U.S. is pushing the envelope, just like these guys are. They're pushing the envelope where music is going. And I want you to be creative. Bring your ideas to the U.S. And we know they're great examples. You know, if you think about Cyborg created Facebook. It was very clear that Cyborg should have won. In fact, I was working for SK when Cyborg came to the U.S. We tried desperately to win, it didn't work out. But if we had been maybe 3 years earlier than that, I think it would have been a different story. Anyway, not to digress too much. My point is, being an entrepreneur in the U.S. is hard. But it's also fun. And I think if you come and you're able to raise money, I think you realize the potential for your companies could be which is what I think would be very exciting for not only you, but also for Korea as a whole. So that's it. I'd like you to follow me that's my Twitter handle. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you. Good luck.